Welcome to our latest developer livestream. It's the 1 year anniversary for Company of Heroes 3, so we'll be covering everything we're doing this month to celebrate. Plus, we've pre-recorded some segments with the team to cover our Year 1 anniversary update for PC, which is releasing on February 27th. Along with an overview of our Year 1 anniversary update for PC, today we'll also be sharing more info on our next console update, and we'll discuss some of the other exciting stuff happening this month. We won't be covering multiplayer balance changes today, but we'll be doing that live on Twitch on February 27th, where the balance team will discuss some of the adjustments they've made to multiplayer, including changes to some of the existing battle groups and an experimental change to some call-ins. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. There's going to be a lot happening for the game's anniversary in and around our PC update, so I'll try to cover everything that I can. Starting on February 29th, we'll be hosting several Twitch takeovers with some of your favorite members of our official creator squad, right here at twitch.tv/Company of Heroes. We'll have more details on that soon, but keep an eye out for channel takeovers by AE, Alpern, Tightrope, Lady Ritsu, Fitzbro, Greyshot, Momo for Show, and Ironcast. Our team is excited to announce a new community social challenge, what we're calling Frontline Mobilization. We're challenging our community to deploy 12 million units in multiplayer or single player between February 27th and March 5th. If the community comes together to accomplish this goal, we'll be unlocking new legendary profile items for all players, including a legendary profile badge, banner, and player title. This will be the first time we're trying something like this, so show us what you got. For all the details, be sure to check out our social channels in the coming days. Additionally, when the Year 1 anniversary update is released on February 27th, 3 new special challenges will be available in-game for that 1 week, in addition to the regular daily and weekly challenges. These include Anniversary Competitor, Anniversary Campaigner, and Anniversary Demolitionist, my favorite. Each of these challenges is worth a whopping 800 merit for a total of 2,400 extra merit to be earned during the Year 1 anniversary. Today, we'll also be showcasing some of the best memes and epic gameplay moments from the last year as submitted by the community. Clips just like this.
Let's see if an artillery shot randomly hits his 2 grins. Please do. Oh, it's so fun! Oh my god! Called it.
Don't miss the community-led map-making contest being organized by GB Pirate. The Co-World Builders 2024 map-making competition is well underway and features 7 player-submitted maps that can be tested right now on the Steam Workshop. Winners of the competition will be crowned in March, so for more details, you can check out GB Pirate's YouTube channel, or, like I said, find the maps on the Steam Workshop right now. The Company of Heroes 3 Resurgence Tournament, organized by AE, kicks into high gear starting March 2nd. This 1v1 tournament with a $4,000 prize pool will feature an exciting 4v4 and 2v2 losers bracket where players can make a resurgence back to the finals. Catch all the action on AE's Twitch and YouTube channels, with the finals taking place on March 10th. Finally, you're going to want to stick around until the end of today's live stream, as we have a very special segment for you from our friends AE and Tightrope.
Oh no! Oh, dude. Why is this luck? Oh, oh get
Nope. We haven't lost a single point! Oh my gosh. This is so ridiculous.
Now I'm joined by David Fan from the Company of Heroes team. David, can you maybe introduce yourself for players that don't know you and tell us what do you do on Company of Heroes 3?
Hi everyone, I'm David Fan, executive producer on Company of Heroes 3. I lead the development team and work with John and company to make sure that Co3 is the best possible game.
Okay, well, it's great to have you here today. And later, David, we're going to be talking to the rest of the development team to chat about what's coming in the Year 1 anniversary update. But I'm curious if you have any news for us about what might be coming after this update. Is there anything that you can share with players today?
Yeah, so I know our players are really looking forward to having some type of roadmap for the rest of the year, and I totally get that. The thing is, we really want to make sure that we can fully commit and get this roadmap done with accuracy and be 100% able to pull off everything that we're committing to it. So we ask everyone for a bit more patience as we kind of work through that, make sure it's fully buttoned up before we kind of communicate and roll out a roadmap. So thanks for your patience. We'll get it figured out and we'll kind of update everyone as soon as we have a roadmap ready.
Okay.
But we do have some updates that I can share for what to expect in March, if that's cool.
Absolutely.
So first up, for our console players, we have an update for the console coming up that will bring the game up to parity with the 1.4 Steel Shepherd update for PC. So expect that coming soon. And for our PC players, we have a 1.6 PC update happening in March. That's a pretty big update. It's got a lot of cool stuff. Based on all the player feedback that we've received, and thank you for that. It's going to be an update that's packed with content and some features. So examples of that are you're going to expect 3 new community maps in 1.6, and we're going to see some really highly requested features from the past year finally make it into the game. So some highlights include a vote to surrender, a lever penalty finally, pathfinding improvements, single player mission selector, and a new accolade system that I think players will really dig.
Okay, yeah, that's really great to hear. I know players have been eager to see some of those things finally make it into the game. And I'm happy to hear that that's happening pretty soon. I'm curious, David, if you can maybe speak to some of the work that the team has done over the last little bit to address the player feedback that we've been seeing in recent months.
Yeah, I think the team has been working super hard. I don't think it's a big secret that we had a bit of a rough launch, rough start to the game. But over the past year, the team has been really working hard to make the game better, addressing player concerns, listening to feedback from you all, and making sure that we can make the game as fun as it can be. And we're starting to see some great results over the past while with our efforts, and we thank everyone for that. But I think if you look at where Co3 was on launch day versus where it is today, it is really kind of a night and day difference. And all that, again, goes back to the tremendous efforts of the dev team and the feedback that our players have provided us. So we're thankful for everyone all around for helping make Company Heroes 3 better. We think that there's really no better time than now to jump in and try Company Heroes 3, and we appreciate everyone for their support and hope that everyone keeps playing and as we keep working on to improve the game.
Okay, that's great to hear. Well, thanks so much, David, for taking some time to share some news and update us on what's going on with Company of Heroes 3. And I think that's it for now, so we'll just head to the next segment.
All right, thanks, John.
Panzer IV giving supporting fire. 8-Rad's looking to get away behind the Panzer Tactician smoke. Panzer IV offers a big shot to the Vet 2 Chaffee. The other one takes over for him. Meanwhile, we've had an anti-tank grenade damaging the engine of this Panzer IV. He's got no AT gun though. He's recrewed it now. Engineer goes down. Another AT grenade in. Here come the Chaffies to finish the job on the Panzer IV. Kauzak again with a sloppy push.
Yeah, both players here really messing up their pushes. AT gun was purchased, almost immediately lost. Oh, gotta be careful with the second Panzer IV, and it goes down!
It does indeed go down. The Chaffies on slivers of health. One now dies to the 8-Rad with a fortuitous shot. The Vet 3-1 goes forward. It's clearing house right now. There you go. All Wehrmacht vehicles down. All Wehrmacht vehicles are indeed down.
Oh, incredible stuff. Incredible stuff.
Let's talk about console. We know our console edition players have been eagerly anticipating more news on what's coming in the spring update, along with when they can expect it. I'm happy to say that it will be releasing before the end of March, and this will bring the console edition in line with our Steel Shepherd update on PC. While some PC-specific features will not be coming to console due to technical limitations and other considerations, including challenges, the in-game store, and replays, we are bringing so many amazing new features to both PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. First up, the Hammer and Shield pack will be granted to all Premium Edition owners, and it will be available for sale for everyone else. This will include the Italian Coastal Battle Group for the Wehrmacht, the Advanced Infantry Battle Group for the US Forces, the Air and Sea Campaign Company for the British Forces in the single-player campaign, and a Premium Cosmetic pack. In addition to this, we have 5 new maps coming to console. The 1v1 Villa Fiore, the 2v2 Day 101, the 3v3 Benghazi, and the 4v4 maps Monte Cavo and Sus Wetlands. We've also reworked the 1v1 map Pacino Stalemate, so look forward to that. Along with the new maps, this update will also include a redesign of the main menu and front end, a first-time player experience redesign, the new player profile, art updates and visual improvements, quality of life changes, multiplayer balance changes, and several bug fixes. As I said, you can expect all this to come to the console edition of Company of Heroes 3 by the end of March.
Nice. 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 Very nice.
Watch artillery. Big flank.
Yeah, that's confident.
Yep.
Ça va être Noël là. Ah, il bouge pas en plus. Hein. Bon bah au revoir. Hein.
Really, you can retreat straight from boot. Oh, look at that. Oh, Jello Man in the window, eh?
And now I am joined by Emily and Marco, and we're going to be talking about some fun stuff today. So let's do some quick introductions. Marco, let's start with you.
Hey everyone, it's nice to be back. I'm Marco, and I'm a game designer on Company of Heroes 3.
And Emily, I'm very, very happy to have you here. Tell us who are you and what do you do on Company of Heroes?
Hi, I'm super happy to be here because we get art people on. I'm Emily. I'm a senior UI artist.
Amazing. So Emily, we didn't have a chance to have you on last time, but I know that you did quite a bit of work on the art improvements that went into Steel Shepherd. So maybe you can take a minute and tell us a little bit about what you worked on there.
Yeah, absolutely. I am super excited that it was really well received. It was something that we were really pumped to send out after we had been working on it for a good long time. I was there from the beginning till the end for Steel Shepherd, of making sure that it was something that would be a really broad and strong improvement overall for Company of Heroes. Mm-hmm. And we were really excited to sort of reestablish a little bit of the look of Co and just make it a generally high quality experience that we could be really proud of.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that work really shined through in Steel Shepherd. So, and I know our players were really receptive to a lot of the cool stuff, especially in the menus and just the presentation and the look and feel of Co 3. So, yeah, really, really tremendous work. So let's maybe jump into what we're here to talk about today. Marco, maybe you can kick things off. We're adding something to player profiles. Can you tell us about profile customization?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are finally bringing a way for players to customize their profile appearance. It's going to be, in its first iteration, a pretty lightweight feature. They will be able to access the loadout, and through there, they will be able to change 3 elements of their profile: badges, banners, and titles. So now for people that have pre-ordered the game and so have access to the Devil's Brigade cosmetics, they can go back to the standard ones, or they can equip those, or they can get maybe new ones. Okay, very cool. So maybe we can talk about like some of the design goals with this new system. What were we trying to do with this type of customization? So when it comes down to the design goal, we wanted to provide something that was authentic to the player experience, so they would feel still linked to the authenticity of what is Company of Heroes 3. At the same time, we wanted something very immediate that they could equip, check immediately if they like the combination of elements, and then they could just jump into a game. We tried to be not too faction specific. So we do have elements that are, of course, reminders of those factions, but we wanted to make sure that players wouldn't be confused when they wear something that maybe resembles one faction, but then they're playing with another faction. And we gave some very, very nice treatment to all those elements, which actually maybe could talk about.
No, it's because we want you to be able to talk about the faction that you play the most, but also still keep it broad enough and, let people be able to find themselves on the leaderboard a little bit more clearly. All those kinds of things give you a little bit more, sense of customization over how you appear in the game and in the community in general. And a lot of the storytelling that we wanted to do in the art for this was very cinematic. We wanted to make sure that we gave a lot of life to these different faction elements, a little bit of storytelling. And I think it turned out really well in the badges. You can feel that each of them has had sort of a different experience or different things happen to them, as well as being more, diverse in colors and the ways that they show up in our interfaces and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm quite happy with the results. I think people will really enjoy being able to mix and match and choose all kinds of things.
All right, well, let's maybe take a quick look at some of the stuff that players can expect with the first iteration of profile customizations. Let's switch over here. So first up, let's maybe talk about some of the banners. So Emily, I'll just kick it back to you. What were some of your considerations when you were working on this feature and some of the individual items here?
Yeah, absolutely. So a whole bunch of these, we wanted to make sure that people had sort of a hint of their favorite factions in these, as well as a bit of texture, a bit of, like I was saying before, storytelling to these. We took a lot of stills from our cinematic trailers and stuff like that for the game because they had such a beautiful representation of historical moments, equipment, all kinds of things. So each one of these has a subtle, unique backing texture, and you also get unique colors and stuff like that, as well as some variations that you'll see in game once they're out.
Awesome. So let's maybe look at some of the badges as well. Marco, while these are kind of going through here, I'm kind of curious, what are we hoping to capture for players, or what kind of feeling do we want them to walk away with as they get to sort of explore, customizing their profile with these new badges and banners?
So as you can see, we're trying to keep a balance between all the factions. So we know that players might be very attached to a specific faction. So as you can see, we're giving them a little bit of every faction. We kind of explored different themes for them, and this time around for this first drop, we are going with the unit symbols. So they are all getting this super nice treatment that Emily gave them to look like very polished and like very nice medals. And you have the rifleman, the grenadier, which was the first one, the rifleman, the infantry section, and the bersaglieri. My favorite, and not because I'm Italian, but maybe because I am Italian, is the bersaglieri one, because they are, of course, their hat and their symbol is full of feathers. I really, really love it. But we're also trying to, we approached this in a way that we were trying to give them symbols and colors that could match with other banners. So you will notice that a lot of these elements will match together very nicely in both the banners and the badges.
Emily, I'm wondering if you maybe talk about your process when you're creating these badges, and maybe what some of the treatments that you gave to them. Like how did you sort of take them from the symbols in game to the badges?
So a lot of the symbols in this, obviously, they're fabulous. The feathers, they're so much fun. That was something that was absolutely necessary, in my opinion, to get into at least one of our badges at some point. So I'm very happy to see it so early on in the update. A big portion of this, obviously watching, historical footage, looking at historical photos, all those kinds of things. And there's always this challenge of finding the balance of whether or not something is new, freshly printed, like it's just gone out into the field, or if we want it to look more historical, something that we're more accustomed to seeing now. So these badges, I hope, find a middle ground there. Particularly for the rifleman, I wanted to make it feel as though somebody had just put down the badge, and you can still see the subtle marks of their hand and a little bit of moisture on it. For the grenadier, as if it's just gotten a little dented up on the field, the scratches and everything like that, like it just went by. Yeah, these were a lot of fun, and I hope that that comes across, those textures. And like you said, the fact that we can mix and match them is nice. We wanted to make sure we didn't lock people into a single look. It means that you can have that extra element of uniqueness, because you can pick favorite units, even if that's not the faction you're playing at that time or whatever it may be. It's a good solid first drop that gives lots of people options, I think.
Yeah. Marco, one of the things that we're not showing here, I'm curious if you can talk about some of the titles that players are going to be able to equip.
Yeah, so when CH3 came out, we did have two of them, the Recruit and the Pioneer, but now we are expanding the system and offering titles that will be part of 3 separate categories. that the players can access to. One is the unit types. So for this release, we are going to have the Rifleman, the Bersaglieri, the British Rifleman, and as units. Then we have the ranks. So for this time, like for 1.5, we are giving out the Private First Class, and then we'll have also some that are more humorous. So for the first one that we are shipping, we are going with the General Errands.
General Errands, I love it. I know. I saw the document where we were workshopping some of the other more humorous ones, and I think players are going to be looking forward to those in the future. Yeah. So one of the other things.
Oh, and I forgot the Grenadier. Yeah. So we'll have like pretty much one for each faction as titles, and then we'll have the banners will be one for allies, one for Axis, and then the badges will be pretty much one for each faction.
Okay, perfect. So we're challenging our community to deploy as many units in multiplayer or single player as possible between February 27th and March 5th. And if the community comes together to accomplish this goal, we're going to be unlocking legendary profile items for all players. But I figured now we may as well show off some of those rewards. What do you think?
Oh, yeah. Let's
do it. I'm so excited.
All right. So first up, we have the Frontline banner. Emily, do you want to comment on what we got going on here?
Oh, a little bit of cover. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with a little peek out. Yeah, this is probably my favorite banner out of a bunch that we have made. I really like this one. I think it has a very cool look.
Mm-hmm. Cool. And then we also have our Frontline badge.
Yeah, so inspired by historical photos. So you guys should get in there, earn it, deploy those units.
And we do have a special title for this one as well. It's going to be Frontline Mobilizer. And if you want to find out more about this challenge and get all the details on what goals you need to hit, you're going to want to go to our social channels to get all the details. As we wrap up here, any sort of final thoughts on profile customization? Marco, I know this is something that you wanted to get into the game for a while. So any final thoughts for our players?
Yeah, so as other features, we are taking this as our first step into getting players' customization into the game. So it will be an iterative process, and we do hope that we'll be able to do more on this in the future. So we'll be looking at you players. If you like the feature, let us know, and especially we'll be looking at how people interact with this.
Emily, what about you? Final thoughts on maybe the process of getting this all into the game and working, or what you're looking forward to seeing from players?
Margot has been an absolute trooper. He loves you guys. He is making sure that you get the very finest for your profile. I can assure you that. And I'm super excited to be able to deliver more for this in the future. I think it has really cool, fun potential that people will really enjoy, and get to engage with, and lots of neat little historical tidbits and fun little titles we can put in there. So yeah, engage with it, have fun.
Amazing. Well, thank you very much, Marco and Emily, for joining us today. And up next, we're going to be talking to Will about the new maps in our Year 1 anniversary update.
Hi.
Oh non. Oh non, pas ça. Pas aujourd'hui, pas maintenant, pas après tout ce que tu as fait.
Oh, what the? What the? Oh my god! Oh.
He's got 5 health. 5 health remaining. Oh, it bounced! It bounced on 5 health! You've got to be joking me! And he's suppressed now. Can he get the final shot? He bounced again! Oh my god, the RNG! What is the play doing? What is it doing? Oh my god! The humanity!
Now I'm joined by Monolithic Bacon himself, Will Ward. And that can only mean one thing, Will. I imagine we're here to talk about new maps.
Maps. Yeah, we are.
So Will, I think this is a bit of an exciting update because we have quite a few new maps coming to the game. Can you talk about some of the big picture goals in terms of maps for our Year 1 anniversary update?
Yeah, I mean, we've wanted to get as many maps into the game as possible. It's always been a goal of ours. We've had a few things working in the background. For example, community maps have been on the table for a little while now. So that will finally come to fruition in this update. But we're also looking to bolster other map pools, probably our lesser known map pools like our casual versus AI pool as well.
Okay.
So yeah, we're bringing 7 maps to this update.
7, okay.
Across all of our pools.
Yeah.
So yeah, lots to talk about.
Okay, amazing. So let's maybe talk about the ones that you mentioned first, the co-op versus AI maps that we're going to be introducing, or I guess we could call them variants. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah. So during the winter break, things tend to slow down a little bit because people go on vacations. And it afforded me an opportunity to revisit some of our maps and let's call them casualify them. We have some maps that are quite competitive, some that have a very nice broad layout for flanking gameplay and things like that, but they aren't necessarily conducive of casual gameplay. They're not easy for new players to jump into. And there was an opportunity for us to take 2 of those especially and add more choke points to them, make the territory more friendly, so that players jumping into the game for the first time can get used to how the game works, the mechanics of it, without being overwhelmed by the sheer scale and size of our maps. So,
Do you just want to start taking a quick look at them?
Yeah, let's have a look.
Let's jump into some footage here. So first up, Sangro River Crossing.
Yes. So our players may recognize this straight away as Day 101. Which is done surprisingly well. Day 101 has climbed up quite neatly into the competitive playlists and is proving itself to be a very, very decent battleground. But it's, at its core, a river map. So in this version, we made it into a nighttime version. We added a layer of destruction across the whole thing, so it looks like this is further into the battle for the Sangro River. And we have deepened the river crossings. So there are now only 2 natural fords that you can cross on the river itself, rather than the entire span being accessible. And the 2 bridges that are up in the urban area that we're driving through at the moment start already pre-destroyed. So players who jump into this map will only have to worry about 3 crossings to begin with. There's the area near the church at the top of the city, and then there's the 2 natural fords, and as long as they hold those locations and prevent the bridges from being rebuilt, they have a much easier time of playing.
Okay, good to know. So just to clarify, these variants that are coming to co-op versus AI, that doesn't change the existing Day 101 map in Quick Match, right?
No. This is for all intents and purposes a new map. Just using the template of Day 101.
Okay.
So yeah, Day 101 will be completely unaffected. It will still be the map that we released in the last update. But yeah, this is a version that we specifically wanted to be available for skirmish and custom games and versus AI.
Right.
We've also bumped this one up to 6 players because we don't have to worry so much about the space that you have to play in terms of competitive play. So yeah, this is going to be more compact with lots of things running around, lots of vehicles driving and bashing through things. Very tight choke points. It's a lot of fun. It's so fun to play this in a nice casual and relaxed way with friends.
Yeah, I also noticed that along the river you've introduced quite a bit more hard cover.
Yes.
For the player. So I imagine you can kind of have those standoffs in the middle of the map.
Absolutely, yeah. This is a map that's begging for artillery emplacements and dug-in weapon teams, MGs firing across a narrow river. It's great.
Okay, should we jump into the next one here?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so I think the next one is also a little familiar to players, so let's check it out.
Yeah, so Semois Wetlands has also proven itself reasonably well in the competitive audience. It's a very broad and wide 4v4, but it also features some natural choke points with the water. So I did a bit of an experiment to see what it would be like if all of the wetlands were completely flooded.
Okay. Yeah.
So this is exactly the same case. It is only available in skirmish, custom games, and versus AI. But instead of it being a broad, wide map that you can try to traverse all of the wetlands now are completely flooded and too deep, which means the map is now split into 2. You have the desert village to the south, and then you have the walled city to the north. And you have the causeway that separates the 2 halves of the map that's still traversable. It's still got a victory point on it. But that is the only way to get from one side of the map to the other without going all the way back to your base. So you're essentially creating two 2v2 maps that are connected together.
Okay. I also noticed on both of these variants that you've altered the default camera position. Can you talk about that?
Yeah. So this is just to help separate them and differentiate them a little bit. When we design our maps, camera angle is actually one of those things that we decide very early. We want to make sure that when we're putting large buildings, like 3-story buildings, into a map, that you can see the most around that building as possible. Changing the camera angle can create blind spots that we never intended. So these new camera angles are a way to hopefully give a different view of the entire map to make it not look exactly the same. Same with doing a different atmosphere. And we've chosen it where it creates as few blind spots as possible.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah, it's worth mentioning as well, on both of these maps, we've adjusted the territory and the victory point layouts to also be more user-friendly.
Okay.
So both Sangro and Seuss Stronghold have got even number of victory points. So the games last longer.
Okay.
You've got more time to settle in and hunker down.
Right.
And just get used to the mechanics of the game.
So you can really have those slugfests on both of these maps. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Before we start talking about some of the more competitive maps, some of the community-made maps that we're going to be integrating into Quick Match and the overall map pool for Co3, because I know this is obviously something that we've wanted to do for a long time. So I'm curious, Will, if you could maybe talk about a little bit about what that process looked like and the work that it took to get us to the point where we could bring in some of these new maps.
Yeah, of course. So, as you mentioned, community maps are something we've wanted to do for a long time. We gave out the map making software, the Essence engine, at the launch of the game because we hoped that people would immediately pick it up. The process for taking community maps and integrating them isn't as simple as it probably ought to be. But what we wanted to do while we were integrating community maps is give them the justice that they need, give them the legs so that they can stay in the game and remain there indefinitely, ideally. What we don't want to do is integrate a map and then 3 months later have to pull it because it has issues. So in working with our community mappers, our first round of community mappers, we've encouraged them to make as many of the changes as they wanted to do, things they didn't necessarily have the time to do when they first released them. We've also given them a round of feedback or two. We've done internal playtests on the maps to make sure that they are up to our standards as much as possible. And then once we get the files from our community mappers and they are all happy with being hands-off, we then take those maps through our own final V3 process. So a V3 process would include a pathfinding pass. It would include checking all the assets are viz where appropriate, making sure we've got blockers. We would get our artists to give them a new atmosphere to make them stand out and bring them up to the same visual standards that we have on our own maps. And I will build them a custom minimap in the same way that our new minimap style has taken. So it's a little bit more of a long-winded process. It's not as easy as looking at something in the workshop and going, I like that, let's take that.
Right.
It's been lovely to work with our community mappers in particular. They've all been very receptive of this process so far. And it's great to work with them personally. A lot of folks, when I was a community mapper that I would work alongside, or some that I've never even had a conversation with, but I know of their work. So it's great to finally show off their stuff and work with them properly.
Okay, that's great to hear. So let's maybe queue up the first one here, and I think it's going to be a little bit familiar for fans of the franchise.
So for the remainder of the maps here, the remaining 5 that we have to talk about, you're going to notice a theme with it being the anniversary. We have specifically chosen to go for classic maps.
Right.
We wanted to dig back into the roots of Co1 and Co2 and bring about a new slew of the maps that we're most familiar with. So it was a great pleasure to bring back Faymonville from Co2. This is the work of AE and K-Pen. They have lovingly restored this version of Faymonville. It is just as beautiful, just as vibrant and sunny. And it's been rebalanced for the Master League, so it's had plenty of playtesting on it already. This was very much an easy win for us. It only needed very, very few things changing, and like I said, atmosphere updating and minimap adding. But yeah, this was an absolute beauty to work on.
Yeah, and I had a excerpt here from K-Pen themselves that I figured I'd read out. So K-Pen said, AE first approached me to recreate Co2's Faymonville for the Co3 Master League. AE and I had previously revamped the Co2 version of Faymonville based on player feedback. My goal for the Co3 version was to add the Italian countryside theme while preserving Faymonville's essence, while also aiming to meet the standards of Relic's official maps. Working with Will, we combed through the map for errors and visual optimizations. This was an enriching experience, as I feel we learned new things from one another. I hope both old and new players alike will enjoy Faymonville in Co3. Any other thoughts on the work that you did here to bring Faymonville into the game, Will?
Only that it was an absolute pleasure to work with the guys. K-Pen especially is very much an artist. He has an eye for detail, and I'm sure you'll see that when you get to play the map for yourselves. And it'd be great to work with him again in the future.
Cool. All right, let's queue up the next one here. Again, I think this one will be a little bit familiar. So let's dive in.
Yeah, so we're also bringing back steps. For those of you who are all too familiar with the 4v4 crowd in Co2, this was one of the entrants into the Grey Shot 4v4 map competition. As soon as I saw it, I knew straight away that we had something wonderful on our hands here. It needed a little bit of balancing and tweaking to bring it up to snuff, but this map is an absolute visual treat. This map was done by Sphinx, who is a guy I've known for a long time. And it was wonderful to see him come over to Co3 and start making maps for us there.
Yeah. So about this map, Sphinx says, my thanks go out to Will and everyone from Relic for giving me the ability to start working on a map even before the release of Co3 last year. The goal of the map step was to get in touch with the new editor and to learn. That's why I chose a remake, to focus on learning the editor without worrying about the map design or layout. Step is loved and hated at the same time in the Co2 community, but I like the online matches on this map and thought because of the open spaces, it could be converted into a fitting North Africa scenario.
Yeah, that is exactly it. And we will expect all 4v4 maps to be contentious. Usually the losing team isn't as happy as the winners. But this, yeah, he's absolutely right. This map made a wonderful North Africa conversion. It feels so vast and sweeping. It was always going to be a perfect fit.
Yeah, I really love what Sphinx was able to do here, and the work that you two obviously did to bring it into the game. It is like this wide expanse, and I can just envision lots of huge vehicle battles on this, and with tons of wreckage and craters. So looking forward to seeing matches on this.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's it for the inclusion of player-made maps in this update, Will. But let's maybe jump into some of the reworks or remakes, I guess, that you worked on yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. So we wanted to include the classic maps from the very beginning. You always start with what you know. But the opportunity afforded itself, especially towards the winter break. We had an extra artist on hand and thought, when it comes down to classic maps, it is less design work because the map has already been designed, but it is more artwork because they need starting essentially from scratch in terms of visuals. So we got our artists to work on some of the most popular, some of our favorite maps, and naturally Semois came straight to the top. This is an absolute Co1 classic. It is so renowned for being absolute 1v1 slugfest. And it was a perfect opportunity to bring in that idyllic, beautiful Italian visual that we expect. We've made some tweaks to it. We've had Marco and Miguel playing this one extensively and bringing in some tweaks. So for example, right here, we have a couple of extra river crossings to help avoid the famous Semois pin, which was pretty notorious. But other than that, the map is essentially unchanged. We've tried to keep the cover, even the buildings and their placements, as similar as we possibly could to Co1.
Okay.
And it's worked out a treat. It's been lovely.
Yeah. So I know you said with classic maps. We don't necessarily have to do the design work again. However, just for clarity, I imagine it's not the type of thing where you can just port the map files from Co 2 to Co 3.
No, unfortunately not. That was actually the case with Co 1 to Co 2. You could literally grab the same map files, and there'll be assets missing, but yeah, it was much easier. With Co 3, because it's a completely different engine, we have to do still like start at the very beginning.
Right.
What we can do, however, and this is kind of a recommendation for anyone who wants to try this themselves, you can export height maps from Co 1 and Co 2's editors. The height map is just the terrain layout. So if you export that like for like, and you import it into Co 3, it gives you a very good idea of where all the roads and ditches and rivers are on your maps. And then what we would do is grab the old top-down mini-maps from Co 1 and Co 2, the versions that didn't have art all over them, the ones that the editor made. We turned them into splats, converted them into a splat file, and then just laid it over the top of the height map until everything lined up. And then we essentially have a top-down view of where everything should be. So we still have to go in and put all the buildings and walls and assets and do everything that we would normally have to do, but we don't have to worry so much about the territory layout because the Co 1 version had a very similar layout to what this one does. So it saves a phenomenal amount of time, and it gives us an excuse to bring back these favorites from our community.
Okay. Any final thoughts on Semois before we move on?
I mean, I can't wait to see some of the games on this one. It's such a famous map. It's going to be great to see our players in Co 3 sink their teeth into it, and to see new players who weren't around for Co 1 try this for the first time.
All right. Next up, another fan favorite.
Yes. So there's definitely a little bit of favoritism in this one because Elst from Co 2 was my map.
Oh.
This was a map that I've wanted to bring into Co 3 but never had the opportunity to because I'm too busy working on new maps. Elst has a special place in my heart, and I wanted every excuse I could get to bring it back. This is a map that's actually based on where I grew up, which is post-industrial Britain. I can smell this map. It just brings back that little memory. It smells of plaster and brick dust and overgrown forests, and that is exactly what we've gone for. We've converted Elst from this forest and farmlands into an overgrown industrial complex, like a logging complex that's just been left to time. And it's been beautifully done. Like, we had both of our artists touch this at one point or another. It's been so lovingly recreated. I'm so happy with it. But we have the bombed out west, as you can see, as driving through here, and it's starkly contrasted with this old industrial east that's being slowly rebuilt. We've added some new twists to it, and the territory layout is naturally different because this was a Co 2 map, and Co 2 and Co 3 have very different territory systems.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to players trying this one out and seeing how it fares in comparison.
Okay.
I've had great fun making it.
Awesome. Glad to see it back in the rotation. So last but certainly not least, we have our 3v3.
Yes. So 3v3 is a bit of an odd one. 3v3 is definitely the unloved stepchild. And I don't think it's fair that it gets treated the way it does because it has some of my favorite maps in it, especially in Co 1. The 3v3 map pool was phenomenal. So when I asked the design team what their favorite 3v3s were, Monthermay went straight to the top.
Yeah.
It is unique, even if it isn't necessarily the most fair map. I suppose it is balanced because it's mirrored. It's quite laney, but it is so unique in how it plays. There is no other map like it. Yeah. For players who aren't familiar with Monthermay from Co 1, you have this area that we're looking at the moment, which is the south of the river. It's quite a narrow corridor of land where you essentially have two players facing off against each other. But then across the river, you have the rest of the town, the rest of this vast industrial complex up on the hill where the remaining four players are battling it out. And you have the choice. Do you either take control of this upper town and neglect the south, or do you divert your resources and help out your teammate on the other side of the river and risk losing the town in return. It's always been so fun to play. Some of my favorite matches were streamed on this map. And yeah, this was an absolute joy. Mark really took his time on this one to bring back all the visuals, because this hasn't been seen in KO2. I made a workshop version in KO2, but officially this map was never brought back. So we haven't really seen a polished version of it since KO1, and he's done amazing work on it. It looks astounding.
Yeah, the look and feel of it, I found, because I hadn't played on this map before, I found it to be really, really exciting and just really, like you said, just like different from everything else that we have. And I'm excited to see the matches that sort of unfold on this, and to see what players think.
And it's worth adding, like, our justification for choosing maps like this, not that we need one, is we don't want our map pool to feel the same. We don't want every single map that we release to play the exact same way. We know that over time, when we integrate community maps, that will happen naturally anyway. We'll start getting more and more maps that feel similar to each other. Our intention is not to have a boring map pool. We want you to have to change the way that you play. We want you to be excited when something different comes up. So maps like this really do shake up the formula of how you play. It's going to be great.
Awesome. So I think that's going to be it for our quick look here, Will. But that's really exciting. So we've got 7 maps coming in our Year 1 anniversary update. We have 2 variants for co-op versus AI, and we have 5 maps, 5 classic maps coming to Quick Match. All 7 of those, of course, available in Skirmish and Custom Game. And a huge thank you to KPen AE and Sphinx for the inclusion of the 2 maps that they all worked on. Will, final thoughts on the work that went into getting these maps into this update?
I mean, as always, I cannot wait to see people play these. It's going to be great. I'll be watching streams on day one as soon as it happens. No doubt gathering feedback. But yeah, I can't wait. I hope you folks enjoy this. This has been a real labor of love.
Amazing. So thanks so much, Will. And let's head to the next segment. As we wrap up, don't forget that the Year 1 anniversary update will be releasing on February 27th at 10 a.m. Pacific time on PC. And an hour before that, we'll be sitting down with our balance team on Twitch to discuss the patch notes and multiplayer changes coming in the update. To stay up to date on everything Company of Heroes 3, be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Company of Heroes. You can join our Discord at discord.gg/Company of Heroes. And of course, you can follow us right here on Twitch at twitch.tv/Company of Heroes. Find our forums at community.companyofheroes.com and keep an eye out there for the patch notes releasing on the 27th. So that's going to be it in terms of news and updates for today, but don't go anywhere just yet. Up next, AE and Tightrope will be casting the first official matches on the official KO3 versions of both Faymonville and Semois. Check it out.
Hello there and welcome back. Welcome back to one of the most famous maps in Company of Heroes history. Welcome back to the beautiful Semois. I'm AE and I'm with Tightrope today. How are you doing, good sir?
I am excellent today. Very excited to be casting this match on this new old map. Used to be known as Semois in Company of Heroes 2, but now Semois in KO1 and KO3.
Yeah, back to how it used to be, but there's been a couple of iterations. We've got a couple of bridges over the gorgeous river here, and also in the north here, just to open up the capping. But other than that, it looks to me like it's the KO1 version. That famous map we saw so many big tournaments on, and huge plays, and the church getting destroyed, of course, if it's a good game. Introduce the players for us, Tightrope, before I mess their names up again.
Yes, well, we have for Wehrmacht, it's Jason. And he's also known as Tar Nation, formerly, when he was playing Company of Heroes 2. Opposing him with the British forces is Darren, formerly known as Mirage Flower.
Okay. This is our second take because I got the names wrong a few times, but it's very easy to get these guys' names wrong because their names have changed, Tightrope. They're now working for Relic. We've got Darren, although as the Brits, who is, of course, he's a good guy, isn't he, Darren?
Yeah, long-time collaborator on the balance team, so he knows what he's up to in that department.
He certainly does. And, of course, we've got Jason, formerly known as Tar Nation. Kettenkrad is in imminent danger of a dingo in its natural hunting environment, looking for light vehicles to prey upon. The dingo's going hunting.
Peppers them down to about 1/3 health, but not going to risk getting Fausted here.
Yeah, you don't want to risk it. Want to risk it for a biscuit. I'm sure that's some Brit line, most likely. Jason's capturing the centre. That's not where all the best resources are, but it's not a bad idea. He needs to get on the victory points in this. And the Kettencrad's going into battle, despite not being repaired there, Tightrope.
Ooh, yeah, runs right into the engineers, right in close range. Ooh, bit slow getting out of there. That's a tough loss early on.
It certainly is. We've got a standoff as well. And the North Pioneers just passing like ships in the night with the infantry section there. Not
a bad idea to try go for some sneaky capping out the back. That Pioneer isolated can't really fight either of those squads. So why not do some cheeky territory harass?
Yeah, you go up this hill here, and then you got all these juicy territory sectors in the north. Back in the day, people used to wire off their +10 fuels outside the base because they were so pillageable. You don't want the raids coming in from your opponents.
Yeah, but those +10 fuels right next to your base, so you will get off to a pretty fast start in terms of fuel. Could open up some fast vehicle strategies on this map.
Right, so it looks to me like Jason's going for an MG next. His Pioneer did come back to base in the end, and it is a tricky map for Wehrmacht, I will say, at Semois. You do have to be careful which support weapons you go for, how many of them you go for. You may even want to go for something like mechanized or something a little bit more nimble and mobile because, of course, it is a very crowded, garrison-orientated village in the centre.
Yeah, plenty of action of garrisons in the middle, but plenty of room for light vehicles to maneuver on the edges.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool dynamic. It was the first of its kind, of course, made by Trial Bob, or Ryan McGrecken of Company Heroes 1 development fame. Has been faithfully recreated here. Infantry section putting the pressure on now from Darren, or Mirage Floor. He's putting the pressure on. We do have our first flamethrower. That's going to be vital, isn't it?
Yeah, so many garrisons in the middle of this map. If you don't have a flamethrower, a unit with breach or mortar, you're going to really struggle on this map.
Yeah, you've got to get it out. And when Company Heroes 3 first came out, Tightrope, me and you and so many others were worried about the power of garrisons and, of course, the elevation bonuses you can kind of get in them. But the flamethrower said, nope.
Yeah, very powerful flamethrowers in this game. Counter the garrisons very effectively, like they're about to here against this section.
Yeah, we're going to have a cook-off here. I'm sure Darren's going to hit retreat, get out of there. Infantry in danger. I've just had my notification. Infantry in danger. Infantry dead. Oh dear.
Oh, that's a painful loss early on. But I suppose it evens out that kitten loss we saw earlier.
I wonder how these guys made this replay for us, Tightrope. They're obviously working hard on the 1.5 patch. And I wonder if they just said, right, we'll just do one replay. Whatever happens, happens. You know? If it's... Because... If that was me, I'd be like, can we start again? Can we start again?
Yeah, oh, you know, when it's kind of balanced out, like one loss apiece, so I think they're all right at this stage.
True. That's a good point. We do have our first choice. It's from Jason. He's gone for mechanized battle group there. That's quite a good choice for this map, I'd say.
Yeah, and we've got the Humber popping out now for Darren. Pretty fast timing on this, before 6 minutes. And no counters yet from Jason.
No, not quite yet. In base, he's still just got his infantry company. I wonder what he's going to go for next. Will he go for Jaegers and the Shreks or the Pack 40 perhaps? We'll have to wait and see. The Humbers coming down the path. It's going to be an absolute menace. Now it's going to kite the Grenadiers. Of course, with those acceleration changes, it's very easy to kite a Fausting squad, and they know it. They're going to go all the way back to home. And what's he gone for? It's gone for Panzer Grenadier Company. Interesting choice.
Yeah, unexpected on this map. I think, you know, the pack, with all the buildings blocking its vision and firing lines, I don't think it's going to be as strong as Panzer Shreks will be inside of the garrisons.
No, I mean, from my understanding, from Wehrmacht playing from this position, they often have to use this field, this cornfield, where kind of south of where the Humber's being active right now in order to get the packs in the game. Because otherwise, you know, they're going to get trapped around the garrison area.
Oh, that was a nice move from the Humber. Drives right past the machine gun. It tried to activate the phosphorus rounds, but just skated on past before it could do any meaningful damage to that Humber.
Yeah, MG uses the new retreat path. to get out of there. That may have been trickier in the old Co-1 version. Pioneers now in peril.
He's fast on a chase here. This could be a squad wipe even.
Yes, a Vet 2 Pioneer with that repair bonus. You really don't want to lose that.
I think that's the flamethrower equipped one as well. That would be a huge loss.
Faustin Grenadier, just enough to threaten him and say, stop picking on my younger brother.
I don't think he had munitions to even Faust there, though. He would have been just maybe.
Yes,
but
it
it's
would have
not
been close.
like
He's on a plus 36 income. There's the insides of the church. What are you seeing, Tightrope? Oh god, we've got a horde.
Oh, the armada of light vehicles for Darren rolling down the road.
That's right. Oh, sounds like a children's nursery rhyme there. But it will come rolling down the road very shortly. The Grenadiers have to be careful. We do have a Pack 40 just popping over the bridge right now. It's going to have to be really careful how it operates and where it strikes first.
Jason briefly thinking about the Faust there, cancelled it, decided to retreat instead. Ooh, misses that first pack shot. Unfortunate for Jason.
Yeah, and he's revealed the pack's position as well now. There are engineers to get these guys back in action. There's also Mandos, one of our favourite units, Tightrope. How do you feel about Mandos in Co3? Are they where you'd want to see them as in terms of balance?
They're pretty strong at the moment. Like the camouflage, very, very good, and the demolition charges. Oh boy, those are very strong.
Very difficult to deal with, aren't they? Even if you know where they are. Right then, they're gonna hunt down those pioneers, and they're gonna be an absolute menace. Now, will they get their grenade off?
They do.
Not much
They're
damage though.
They could pop the smoke to break free of that suppression, but not there yet for Darren.
Just showed the insides of the church there for a reason. I wasn't just trying to annoy you guys on YouTube, but when you've got models inside a large building, grenades don't do as big of a damage because they're quite spread out. So there was method behind the camera work there, don't worry. And there's method behind the madness for Darren coming from a northerly direction here. Pack's in danger.
3 light vehicles converging on the pack. Do have a few grenadiers nearby for the Faust, though.
Oh, that's a double
one
Faust.
Ooh. Big loss there. Other Humber's in major trouble as well.
The MG's firing on the Humber. Indeed, it can get some penetrations off. This could be terrible for Darren. It looked like such a good idea. Will the Humber survive? Yes, it will. Gets out the MG. MG couldn't change direction fast enough. Jason basically won by standing still there. It was a very good strategy.
Oof, that was a close call for Darren. If he lost both his Hummers there, there would be absolute disaster stations. But he's still in this game after that.
He certainly is.
And did at least force quite a lot of munitions expended by Jason with all those Panzerfausts.
Yeah, I like it, Tightrope. That's how I play Company Heroes. I'm just wasting your munitions, wasting your bullets, wasting your micro energy by you having to kill me so much. Right, so Jason is going for the Stug. Now, this is one of Mirageflaw or Darren's favourite units from Co2 days, so it's going to have one of his favourite tools used against him here.
Yeah, and Stug arrives pretty early in this game, so it will be a very good counter to these Humbers. Going to give them the run around. I wonder if maybe Darren might even consider like trying to play conservatively with the Humber now and maybe withdrawing it later on when he gets to his next stage of tech.
Great idea, Tightrope. The withdraw and refit is the hidden power of Brits. And the more people that realise that, the better Brits get, in my opinion. So, yeah, let's see what he can do in this one. I mean, I must say, by the way, Semois was famous in Co1 for the M8 being powerful throughout the game, because the M8 Greyhound could like stay behind the garrisons, away from packs, away from Stugs, all game long. That's a good grenade. Oh, that's a brutal grenade. Pioneer's down there.
Oof. Okay, these commandos are making an impact now. But Darren has no counter to the Stug. He's got no AT rifles. So, not much he can do about this. Just has to run away from the Stug, basically.
Oh, Commandos are now chasing the Pack 40, which was hunting him down. Yep, pushing them away. Gren's are going to try and defend. Stug's reversing after him. No crush, of course, for mobile units in Co3. cruise shop
Tank
on
grenade
there.
on the Stug. Oh, he's got the machine gun upgrade on the Stug now, so that's a bit more imposing against that commando.
Yeah, needs to be a bit careful there. It's a good job he hasn't got point-blank blast at this point, because those commandos would have been true danger. And let's have a
They
look
would
at
have got vaporized. I noticed it's interesting to see Darren going for the LMG as well, not upgrading any AT rifles. LMG
No.
did get buffed in this patch, so...
Yeah, it's a bit cheaper, isn't it, now? And it was already really good before, so I think it's going to be very common on our screens.
You know, LMG units inside a building can be very difficult to dislodge as well.
Panzer Grenadiers going toe-to-toe with Brenns. They're at their favourable distance now, but there are 2 of them.
He's the assistance of the Stug. It's coming up. But he's just taking too many losses in the meantime before it got there.
Yeah, Darren's got 27 infantry kills. Jason only 20 at this point. So that kind of explains the pressure that's been applied to Semois. Darren, of course, occupying the central victory point for much longer. But here comes Jason's army. He's got all of those Wehrmacht units rolling through.
Yeah, he's decided to rebuild the kitten as well for map control. It's doing some very deep capping right now.
That's a smart move. That's a really smart move. Shows that these guys are obviously on the design teams at Relic, because they expect players to be rebuilding these ultralight vehicles for just basically map pressure.
Oh, the capping power of the kitten, especially when upgraded with those communication cables, very hard to stop, and it's so fast, it makes killing it really difficult as well. You kind of need to put down some cheeky mines and hope it runs into them. Otherwise, it's very difficult to kill.
Had mines planted in the south by the Royal Engineers. They didn't complete the cap, though, sadly, for Darren. He's got other things he's worried about at the moment. He's just... There we go. Got the company command post down. He'll be looking to get his first tanks rolling out. What would you go for, Tightrope?
He's in a position I think he can stall. He's picked up an AT gun. Probably go for even just go all the way up to the Grant, I reckon. Grant did get buffed this patch. He's got more health now. I'd really like to see what it can do.
Cool on, the Panzer Grenadiers aren't going to hit the... Yeah, they hit the mine. Okay. Thought they might think better of it. But yeah, the Grant is an unwieldy beast. He's very ugly. He's got loads of cannons, and he's been buffed. Now, Humber in trouble. Oh, that's going to die. Let's get a little bit of an exploding cinematic on that. There we go. His career's into the building.
Well, we've got a Stug D called in by Jason with the Stostrupen riding on top of it.
Wow. Okay. Pretty cool cool unit to clear out a fortification. That was kind of the original use for Stugs before they became a tank killer. It was like infantry support rolling through urban areas, etc. With a plique armor here, covered in bits of wall, apparently. Bit of a rough
I think
ride.
it can kind of like hide behind buildings and like attack round over/through them as well. So it could be very strong on this map.
Oh, yeah. Reminds me of the Stu 42, of course, from Co 1, and we did have the Stug E in Co 2 as well, but the original Stu 42 is a little bit more like it with regards to this amount of AoE.
Aaron's got that infantry field infirmary up there, but doesn't manage to reinforce in time. Stug knocks him out.
Does indeed. He's going to recrew, it seems, but that's an expensive commando recrew. Oh, point blank blast, possibly. Yep. Ooh. Well, they've been point blank blasted. Yeah.
The double Stugs, double teaming all of these sections through the middle. Great impact here from Jason.
Oh, it's too early in the morning for this kind of thing, Tightrope. I've woke up early, Tightrope's casting late, 13 hours of delay. I'm watching dismembered bodies flying around the screen. You usually just have a coffee and listen to the news. You know what I mean? This is a lot of game to take in right now. A lot of things are dying. I've no idea who's winning, Tightrope. None at all.
It's almost dead even on the victory points if you take a look up the top. Very, very close match right now. Jason, though, has a much larger army.
He does.
Did he withdraw and refit that Humber? No, he lost it.
Yeah, he lost it. He lost it.
Yeah.
But we've got 43 pop cap for Darren. He has 130 fuel in the bag. Jason, meanwhile, at 69 pop cap, 80 fuel in the bag, which would indicate that Jason has had the better of the exchanges, and he does have 2 vehicle kills to his name. A little bit better KD on the infantry as well, so maybe that's why.
Oh, Mirage Fly's trying to sneak around the middle of the map with these commandos, making use of their stealth, looking for an opportunity. Just good for scouting as well, really, leaving them on camouflage like this.
One of the best ways to make yourself a better player is to use the scout and ambush bonuses, isn't it? You've got the Jaegers, of course. You've got a lot of units with stealth in this game. And it can really improve your play, can't it, Tightrope?
Yeah, stealth is very strong at the moment in Company of Heroes 3. So take full advantage of it, guys. Oh, look at this. Cheeky mine coming in from Darren. Probably hoping to catch the kitten, but he's going to run into a Stug up here.
Yep, there it was. Sorry, it was the one I had. And Royal Engineers are looking to complete the cap and then run back to base. Give us a camera angle whilst they do. An elevated
He's just
area
going to lose
in the
that
north.
point immediately, though, again to the kitten that's hidden up there. Oh, it's
Timon
going to
and
be the
Pumbaa
Grant.
style. Is it?
Building
Nice.
it. He's building it. Yes.
Yeah, we're excited now because we know it's had a bit of a buff. We won't go too much into balance stuff this video, guys, because it's all work in progress as of the time of recording. But we do know the Grant's meant to be a bit of a monster now, so let's see if it's true.
Still making use of this dingo. I don't think we've seen him use the artillery from it so far, but that could be very strong on this map with all of those garrisons.
Indeed, it could be. Still haven't got the Panzer Company down quite yet for Jason. He's got 100, and he's got a concrete bunker put down behind the house here. Very defensive of him. Not a bad idea, I suppose.
He's actually selected Panther Unlock now as well.
Yeah. Let me show that off, guys. I am going to expand and show the new thing that they're kind of like semi-changing the call-in vehicles for some of the most prominent call-ins, that you can elect to have them as an unlockable should you choose to. I'm sure Relic are going to monitor that. Grant's on the field, though, Tightrope. He's going all in.
He's getting some big hits too. Still pop smoke, trying to hide, but he doesn't have much backup nearby. No Fausting units, no mines.
Oh, the 6-pounders stole the kill over the river there. What a beautiful cinematic that is. That's lovely.
And that's the impact we were hoping from the Grant. Jason really needs some mines down to shut that down. He's got plenty of munitions for it as well.
Oh, the Stug's going to hold his ground. He's going to point blank blast, I think. Oh, the Royal Engineers don't want any of it. Nope. Everything's getting away from the Stug. As soon as it's Vet 1. One of the best reasons to go, of course, Panzer Grenadier Company training. He's going for another Grant. Oh, Darren's going to be power spiking, Tightrope.
Yeah, that's going to be huge once he's got two of those. Jason doesn't really have anything immediately coming out for himself. He might have to go for a second Stug here, but it's not really ideal. Sure, he will want that Panther instead.
Yeah, I mean, Jaegers with Shreks. I know we're all sick of seeing them because they're so common at the moment in the current 1.4 patch we've all been playing publicly. But Jaegers with Shreks have a time and a place, and it's definitely on an urban map like this with loads of light vehicles flying around. Of course, you can get within the garrison, keep them at bay. Might have been a better choice, but we've got what we've got from Jason. Let's see what he can do with it.
I'd like to see him use the kitten to plant some mines as well. Like, it's very, very strong mine planting tool.
Oh, well, when you see he's got 290 munitions in the bag, I'd like to see some of that taken out of the bag and put in the ground.
Well said.
Yeah, I've woken up now.
There goes the dingo.
Oh.
AT gun knocked him out. I thought he was safe. He was right at the edge of range, but it's a shame. It was, pretty good vision, as I said, and can do that artillery, so unfortunate loss there for Darren. Oh, he is getting some mines down. Pioneers just planted a set. Double
Yeah, but
Grant
he's not
rolling
shift
through the
commanded
middle.
away. The Grants are going in. The Stug's firing. There's the... Oh, they stayed on their own mine, the Pioneers. The Pioneers are down. Both Grants go in. We've had a grenade go down. He's trying to decrew the pack, but he's got infantry coming in as well. This could be the end, Tightrope.
There's a lot of pressure on Jason's AT gun. He's not doing enough damage to these Grants. And now maybe even a steal on the AT gun.
Oh, and the Stug just had a huge shot in against it. If he can recrew and take, this could be huge.
I thought he might even steal it and try and chase up to this river crossing and try to kill the Stug, but he's just playing it safe. backing it to that forward reinforcer he's got from the field infirmary.
Wow, a huge reversal in fate there. Let's check out the live match statistics on the graph. The army value graph, you can see that Jason's surging, well, Darren's surging rather, into the lead.
Jason, he's got his Panther company up now. He's not too far away from being able to build the Panther. Just, 17 more fuel now. So once that comes out, maybe we'll get to see it slice up these grunts.
There's the bunker down. Good use of the 6-pounder there. Commando's pushed away. The Grant comes into cover for the 6-pounder on retreat. Seems that Darren just has a nice play here. He's also going south with the infantry section spreading over the map, keeping up the pressure.
Rebuilding on the AT gun for Jason as well. Just in the meantime, he will need that. Panther can't do it all on its own, so good to have some support.
It certainly is. Yep, there's the Pack 40 back out. And, well, there you go. We've got Darren's fuel counts getting closer and closer to getting a third Grant on the field. And I think that's like an auto-win condition. It's victory points, annihilation, 3 Grants.
Oh, they're getting some big hits, even in heavy cover. Infantry having to get out of there fast.
Oh, the Stoss Trooper keep getting hit. Oh, no. Oh, dear, oh, dear.
He's coming up here with the sweepers as well. Very good play from Darren. Doesn't want to hit any mines. He's taken all the precautions required.
That's smart. Always take precautions. You don't want a Grant baby. All right. Infantry going north with the Brens there. Grant's just chilling on the bridgehead. We do have that Nuke River crossing, so it's not game over. In Co 1, this would have pretty much been game over, by the way. Especially get an MG in this house, but no longer the case. Oh, and there it is, Tightrope. Possibly the counter coming out.
Oh, right, as Darren is so extended. Pack decrewed.
Yep.
Panther doing okay.
Yeah, Panther's not incurred any damage yet. It's hunting time for the Panzer, Kampfwagen Fünf. Oh, takeout from over the river. The pack got it. The engineers are down. What's Darren doing? He's throwing the game here.
Oh, no, he got snared too. No escape for this Grant.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah, he pushed all the way forwards there. No support, no snares, no AT guns of his own. He got caught out massively.
Yeah. Jason did 2 really good things there, Tightrope, in my opinion. Firstly, the mass retreat of all that infantry when the 2 Grants were coming to nom 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 him like a Pac-Man with the big pill. He got out of there. And the second good thing that's gone for him there is his opponent carried on trying to wipe the pack instead of getting out of there when the Panther hit. So he's had 2 really good spells of activity there, which have, he's going to be in the lead for a while.
Yeah, maybe a little bit greedy from Darren trying to base pin Jason, but didn't work out. Now he's the one in major trouble.
Yeah, we have to have a Royal Engineer rebuild. Don't forget, we've got foot guards coming out as well. These AT guns, 1 stolen, don't forget, have got to do a lot of work to keep these Stug off him.
Oh, his Grant killed his own field infirmary. Disaster.
No! Oh, God. I told you he's such an annoying behemoth, the Grant. He just, flails around with all these cannons. Doesn't care what he hits.
Getting some decent hits on the Stoss, though.
Yeah, that certainly helped matters.
Book guards rolling out for Darren as well. As we said, that's another good squad that you can chuck inside these buildings. Should perform well against the Panther.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, we've got Panzer Grenadiers versus Brend Tommies up here. I'm kind of interested to see who wins this. Looks like Panzer Grenadiers have got the... it's going to be them. Yep, okay. And if the Brend stood still, that's always an advantage if you do that.
Yeah, need to A-move those LMG squads around instead of right-clicking them.
Such a
so
good
they
point.
stop at max range.
Such a good point. Right, PopCap-wise, we've got Jason at 80, we've got Darren at 59. Munitions-wise, Jason's got loads in the bag. Well, Darren has too. I'm wondering if there's any late-game abilities you've got your eye on there, Tightrope.
Well, there's always that anti-tank rocket loiter. can be pretty strong, especially if a tank gets a damaged engine. That could be lights out for one of these Panthers or Stugs, so I'm sure Darren's got his eye on that. And that's why he's saving all those munitions up.
Oh, there you go. That could come clutch. We'll have to wait and see. Victory point-wise, it's been quite a fair game so far. 208 to 289. It's all to play for. We're 27 minutes in to this.
You've barely seen any triple caps. That's one thing I will say so far.
No, we haven't.
Contest over the middle, but like the North and South VP have been pretty much locked in control throughout the whole match.
And that's why rebuilding the Kettenkrad when it was alive is just such a good idea.
It's a cheeky angle from the Grunt, trying to hide away behind the shrubbery.
A shrubbery, indeed, yep. Meanwhile, there's enough craters now that the commandos can kind of rock around the map. They do get unveiled as soon as I start talking about them, of course, but they can largely get around completely hidden.
Yeah, such a big vision edge. She does also have one Ricky Flare available. It's on cooldown right now, but it's a nice vision tool for Darren. Strong control in the center though for Jason. He's got the machine gun set up. He's camping this middle VP, and Mirageflar Darren with no indirect fire. He's got to do things the hard way here. I wonder if he could just like attack these buildings with his AT guns just to kill them, and that would open up the center a bit more for him.
Yeah, get rid of that one near his own bridgehead. Yeah, I'll tell you what,
buildings do die like to AT guns much faster than they did in Code 2.
Yeah, and they are then like much more flat. They don't stay as like a world object that's kind of in the way a lot of the time. But to tell you what, he's got to make use of the AT guns whilst he can, because the Werfer of Nebel is about to Werf some Nebel.
Here it comes. He's going out the back, hoping for the field infirmary rebuild, which it has been. He might even kill it here. Yep, field infirmary down. Oh, Mirageflar making a bit of a move here, though. Decrease the AT gun. Stuck's taking a few shots from the AT gun of Darren as well.
Oh, yep. One more hit and it's down. He doesn't seem to have seen that. Just keep an eye on that until that dies. Check out the north as well. It's like the
Panthers. The two grunts.
Yep, he's pushing in there as much as he can. Stug survives for now. AT guns push north to try and take out the bigger target, the Panther. The foot guards could take it out also.
Always the smoke. There it is. The AT gun doesn't have vision.
Oh, no.
The Panther's going to get away.
So close.
Oh, but these P-Greens are getting hammered by the grunts.
They are. There's phosphorus flying everywhere as well. We've got a lot of action on this beautiful Semois.
That was a clutch smoke from Jason's Panther there. Without that, like with the foot guards there, with the vision, that would have been dead Panther for sure.
It's very tactical from our Panzer tactician there. And the Stug's just been chilling, seemingly. We have had mechanized assault utilised as well, of course. That's why the Stug's nearly back up to full health.
Yeah, he activated during that last battle. Can repair during fighting, so it's very strong ability, that one.
Yeah, much like the old Co-1 field repairs for the US. Repairing whilst you're fighting is OP. You know, you're getting the blowtorches out, you're making the tank better as you're getting fired on.
Yeah, it just increases your effective health, and oh my. Jason's pushing out another Panther. These grunts, they're going to be very, very scared.
Yeah, they're going to get hard countered if they're not careful. Right, some mechanized
Darren
assaults.
still doesn't have AT grenades on sections either, so he could find himself in some trouble because of that. Does have them from the commandos, and the foot guards can use their Vet 1 ability as well, but do you think maybe some snares could be quite good for Darren?
Yeah, that's a good point. He's got a lot of munitions. He needs to find a way of using the Royal Engineers. Keep getting pushed back. They're probably going to repair that second grant for now, but a few mines would certainly help. It's take and hold the centre of Semois, not just take and give back within 5 minutes, and that's what we're seeing so far.
All Panthers charging in. Oh, and the grunt goes down. So tough to stop that Panther train. Uses the Vet 1 ability, stunning the Panther.
Yep, keeping it in place. Can he get the kill though, Tightrope? We've got both AT guns. Have they got the angle? He needs to attack ground. He's going to lose that angle very soon, but oh no.
Here comes the Nebelwerfer. There's so many units here as well. Disaster for Darren.
Yep, Stoss grenades. It's just Grenadiers grenades, rather. And they're all piling in. Both AT guns have been decrewed. The Tommies now have to run the gauntlet. So do the foot guards. There could be a wipe coming in.
Darren used the incendiary bombing, but it seemed to hit him more than it hit Jason.
Oh, no.
Oh, well, he's lost a lot there. 2 AT guns down. That is going to be extremely hard to come back from.
There's no coming back from that, I don't think. If the game, is played to its maximum here and the players go for the kill, you'd always expect Jason to convert this now. He absolutely should be. If this was MMA, his opponent's down, he just needs to jump on him and hammer fist him until the referee says, please stop. Because he's got a massive army, 96 PopCap versus 41. He takes the AT guns, Tightrope, insult to injury.
Yeah. He is set his population limit, though, Jason. He won't be able to, fully reinforce everything, I don't think. So that's a silver lining for Darren, I suppose.
Yeah, he's just going to keep them as two-man AT guns. Why not? He's at 99 PopCap. That's why. Meanwhile, okay, I don't know how many grants has he built now? Is it like 4 or 5 or something? I suppose we could check it out on the old stats. Units, vehicles, swap over to this. Yeah, he's built 5. He's lost 3. That's not ideal.
Well, he's looking to make some plays. He's heading out towards the south. I do think he can, if he can catch a tank isolated, he could knock it out quite quickly. Especially if Jason doesn't have munitions to activate mechanized assault.
Yeah. Thinking of this duck. Oh, he missed both shots of the first 2. Oh, no. One more.
He needs the smoke, though. The attack rounds. No attack rounds. And now the Panthers are rolling down. Grant's trying to get out of there. The foot guards are way in the middle. Doesn't have any backup for the Grants.
Got that kind of marked target on it as well. Yeah, he's looking to finish it off here. One more shot and he's done diddly done for. Oh, he might actually get the kill. He's going to hold his ground against the Panther. Let's see if he can finally pen it. Oh, he's lost sight.
Yeah, he tried to use the Vet-1 steady assault. Does boost up the rate of fire of the Grant massively. But it's not quite enough to beat these Panthers.
No, it's 5 grants built, 5 grants lost. Not a good time to be a Grant crew member. Well, it never was, actually, in the real Second World War. The Russians called them a coffin for 6 men or something.
Mano's getting a bit of a flank going here, but not even going to get the D-crew. Oh, nope. Okay.
Using
Can't
those
steal it, though.
flares. Yeah, let's get in there. But the Panthers are in his base.
Full base inspection right now from Jason.
Papier and Bitter, he's there. He's inspecting all these structures for integrity. And just doing some controlled demolitions on them just to check they're working.
It's going to try and knock out the section commands. No. Foot guards chase him off.
Machine gunner killed an infantry section member there on retreat. Not too shabby. Since we last spoke, the population cap differential's only gotten worse. We're now at 98 to 27.
Come on, Darren. You can do it, mate. Don't worry about this triple cap.
Yeah,
Just
don't
play
worry
your game.
Don't worry about anything that's affecting you at all. Just go for it. You've got a grant now. They've got loads of guns and stuff. I'm sure you can make it happen.
Well, the church hasn't died so far yet, AE, so
It's
what do you have to say about that?
Game. It's not a good game. It's a good map, good players. Co3 is a good game, but this is not a good game. I wanted more. I'm not against organised religion or structures of religions. On this particular map, the church has to go down, so unfortunate. Alright. Panthers pushing in commandos. I don't know what they're doing. I think every player under the sun probably would have GG well played out of there by now, but of course, this developer's code. You play until the end.
I mean, these can be some of the most satisfying moments as if you're Jason, right? Your army's like 4 times larger and just crushing them.
Yeah. What did one of those Relic developers call that on one of those diaries last year? A power fantasy, I believe.
Oh, okay. I don't remember that.
Yep, well, that's over now. You can, have office bragging rights. And thanks so much, Tightrope, for doing this with me. And thanks, Relic, for giving us both the opportunity. I hope you guys on YouTube enjoyed that. Tightrope, did you enjoy it? That's the main thing.
Yeah, great to have a look at the brand new map for Code 3, Semois. Nice throwback.
Yeah, definitely. And did I do okay? And then I started saying their names in the correct order, in the correct place. I was struggling on our first take. Maybe second take
sharpened
as well.
up much better this take.
We call that coffee. That's what that can do. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and hope you enjoyed that. Cheers.
Hello, and welcome to this match between Marco playing as the British Forces and Miguel with Africa Corps. I am Tightrope, and joining me today is A on this new map, and he will be very familiar with it.
Yeah, I originally worked on... Faymonville was originally a Relic map back in 2014. If you can remember, it had huge mansions and everything. And then the community were allowed to work on it, and I was allowed to work on it with Stern Panther and Rosbone. And then with the Master League Tournament Series, I took it further, and I recruited K-Pen, and him and I collaborated on it greatly together. And we used top-level player feedback, Tightrope, all the time. We're hosting like King of the Hill tournaments on it, just like on this map. And we iterated and iterated until I felt like it was the best competitive map, although a bit short and a bit stubby, but still a really good competitive map. And then we've done the exact same thing for Co3 Tightrope. All last year we had loads of Master League tournaments, loads of player feedback, and I'm very happy to say I think this is more than ready for auto match, and I'm really hoping you guys are going to enjoy it. I'll briefly talk about what's different to the Co2 version. I'm sure you're already familiar with. The islands are accessible here, so you've got a +10 munitions there, and you've got a pontoon area near to the sacrificial goat of RNG in the north. That expands things for Co3 Tightrope. You know, you've got those light vehicles that you're going to want to use. Well, the idea is that you're going to want to use them there to try and get around the side. And then, of course, we've basically had to change the territory system to match the Co3 territory system Tightrope. So the map... Oh, Dingo's finding the Kradschutzen, and keep an eye on that one.
Oh, this is some dangerous maneuvering from Miguel. He's fast with that thing. He's baiting it.
Oh, no. Miguel, formerly known as DevM, otherwise known as the 3-time world champion. That's SNF 4, Operation Charlie Fox, and the Warpaint tournament as well. 3 massive cash tournaments he won back in the day versus Marco, one of the community originators of casting with Ami Pulitsai Funk back in the day, of course, and one of the co-founders of co2.org, if you didn't know. And now both of them work for Relic, so that's happy. And what both of these guys do...
a little bit about the sector layout,
sorry, I was going to. To make it like how it should work for Co3, we've had to obviously change it. And now it works way more like you got the +10 fuel and +10 munitions really close to the base. They're known as safe territory sectors. And then you've got those big L-shaped cutoffs which allow it to work basically like road tuners. And talking of cutoffs, Miguel is going strongly for both of them at the same time here, Tightrope.
Classic aggression from him. I actually remember playing a tournament match against him. I think it was for like the 2019 World Championships on this very map, and I got blasted out by him pretty fast.
Oh god! Anyway, he just started blasting, and that's how DevM plays. He doesn't know any other way. So yeah, you got these big L sections. They're new, and it's basically the hint. I copied off Road to Tunis Tightrope. I think Road to Tunis is the best map in Co3 for 1v1. I just made Faymonville and that, combined them. And then K-Pen did an amazing job of making this map look incredible, Tightrope. I think you can agree. It looks awesome, right?
Yeah, I really like the poppies on this. Very, very nice.
It's gorgeous. That was his idea. A tribute to the Anzacs, which I'm sure you'd be pleased to know. Yep.
Hopefully we'll be seeing some of them in the game in the future.
Oh, that would be nice. Yeah, that would be lovely. So yeah, big shout out to K-Pen. He's, for my money, the best map maker for visuals as a mine detonates on a tree. He's glad that wasn't on the Dingo there, Marco. So Our YouTube audience wants to start talking about the bloody players and the things that are happening. So go on, Tightrope, take it away.
Yeah, well, we've got the Panzerjägers coming in from Miguel. Up against this Dingo, getting a couple good shots in there.
Yep, not a bad option.
Lock into Italian infantry for Miguel as well, early on at this stage.
Ooh, spicy. Can be a very dangerous dangerous battle group, as we all know, currently an auto match. Assault Grenadiers coming out for Devem next. I think Devem's the DAC master, Tyra, but I get that. I gather that him and Marco together have had a lot of influence on the DAC faction. Devem probably in how it plays, and Marco in the Italian flavourings of it. So yeah, they should be very well accustomed with it.
Well, yeah, it can be so aggressive, DAC, especially in the first 10 minutes of the game. So I think that would suit Miguel's playstyle very, very well.
Nice capping on the fringes. Those plus 10 munitions are coming in clutch at the moment, stretching the game out a little bit. Trying to make Faymonville not just be a slog for the centre. I will just remark upon two things we couldn't get for this version. There was no windmill asset, sadly. I really hope there might be in the future. And, oh, that's okay. Cradshutson should be fine in this. There's nothing we could do to make a big mansion, so we just cobbled together 6 buildings. So you have to be careful how this one plays. When you get into it, you fire the way. The windows you get into are the ones you can fire out of. You can't fire out of all of them, Tightrope, so just be careful with that. But once you get used to it, it's not that gamey. It's fine. But it's just that first time you interact with it, like, huh? What's going on?
That's good. Good to know for top tips from the map maker.
Yeah, Mummy and K-Pen, yeah. Okay, so Jaegers have found the dingo. That could be deadly.
Oh, that's a cheeky ambush from Miguel. Oh, he was waiting there. He was camouflaged, hoping for the target, and he got it.
Bloody did.
Very well played.
Good use of the bonuses, Tightrope.
Yeah, exactly. Bonus damage firing from ambush, which does actually add up to almost perfectly killing the dingo like that.
Certainly does. Vickers out for Marco. It's crucial to get your MGs out as well. Another top tip, by the way, there's a new LOS blocker here, so if your opponents from the east, they set up MGs in this area, you can actually flank them using a bit of LOS. You see the chicken coup in the central paddock area there, Tightrope. Oh, Royal Engineers in trouble. They need to get the suppression off.
But light cover prevents the suppression. They survive anyway. Very, very close call for Marco, though. He's got the Humber out, though, and it's going straight for these assault greens.
Yeah, smoking their way out of there, though. They're just using the smoke at the moment. There we go. Humber's having some good fun with them.
I think the Humber did get a slight buff to its AoE this patch as well, so it is better at these attack ground scenarios.
And what was that then? Did they just change the amount of models it can affect with one shot or something like that?
Nah, just increased the size of the AoE.
Wow. Tightrope's big brain. You can remember all these changes. I'm always in awe of you, Tightrope. Of course, you want to check out Tightrope's analysis of patch notes. They're always superior to AEs. AEs are like hot takes, and you've got a good chance most of those hot takes are probably wrong. Anyway, double Jaegers from Devem. He's gone for a very infantry-heavy build, hasn't he, here? That's unexpected, I'd say.
Yeah, usually you see a lot more light vehicles from Africa at this stage, but maybe he was respecting the dingo earlier. Might have been countering his 250s if he wanted to go for that, so going lighter on the light vehicles, heavier on the infantry.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Royal Engineers are in a bad part of town.
Get a grenade off.
That was
That might have saved their lives, honestly.
Maybe. I'd not like to do that if that was me. Nice scouting, by the way, from Marco here. Both of these are Co-1 veterans, and the idea of scouting, but Devem's been auto-building all those buildings, and they're miles off the base entrance there. There's no way you could have seen what was going on, I think. Grenade assault in the centre. Easy dodge for the Welshman.
Oh, here come the Panzerjägers. Look out, Humber. Oh, he's hiding behind the trees. Gets out of there. That was a close call, though. Miguel sneaky with those Panzerjägers.
Humber's a bit of a glass cannon, wouldn't you say, Tightrope? It elicits a lot of damage, but it's easy to take out. You have to be careful with it.
Yeah, very, very low health on it. Did get a slight armor buff here, though.
Oh, dear. This infantry section's got to run the gauntlet through. Mostly Panzerjäger, so he should be relatively fine. Oh, mine on the island there! On AE Island in the south. Gradschützen taken out. Oh, dear. They obviously came onto the island from the other bridge there, and they never left the island, so... F in chat.
Nice mine from Marco.
Marco's actually
ways
holding...
to counter those bikes.
Sorry to interrupt, Tightrope. Marco's actually holding most of the map here. It's exciting.
Yeah, the Humber's really keeping Miguel under pressure. You know, those Panzerjägers can't be everywhere at once. It's taking full advantage of the high mobility of that Humber.
Certainly is. It's a nice high-level game as well. Marco's now going for a double AT gun build, Kotu styley. Not a bad map for it. You know, it's got nice open paths and channels.
Yeah, well, they've got nothing to fire at right now. I wonder if these two have played each other and he knows that Miguel's going to have some kind of power spike coming up here shortly.
Yeah, but what could he be going for? He's missed the opportunity for the L6s, one would assume. The window, rather, for them. Oh, Royal Engineer's about to die. Panzerjägers have gone all the way up the map now.
Camouflage, they come out. And they get the kill.
Oh, I don't want to be that guy. He did not have a nice end there, unfortunately. Well, what's left of him?
Marco's been playing a dangerous game with these sappers the entire match. Like, they've had some very close calls.
But they're getting their revenge in the north. DevM's just walking straight through them. Oh, dear. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh, here we go. Oh, look at that. DevM staying to the last model of those assault grens. He likes to live dangerously, does our Dev.
Oh, we've got some Guastatori up here for Miguel now.
Yeah. And more Royal Engineers are about to die. It looks like there's... Oh, assault grenadiers are actually suppressed there thanks to the Vickers saving their life. That is clutch there.
Yeah, that was a huge Vickers play. Completely saving the day.
Oh, I tell you what, this has been a spicy game so far, Tightrope. You're liking how it's playing?
Yeah, really nice to see this Humber sweeping from side to side.
Oh, you've got the pyramid. The trapezoidal pyramid of death on the field. Oh, no.
Now it's bringing in both vehicles, so trying to overwhelm the Panzerjägers. Drops down the mark area, boosting up the damage on the Panzerjägers as well.
Yep, and the Humber drops its RT as well, it seems. There's an orange smoke. Is that just for the mark, is it?
Yeah, I think that's maybe new for the mark.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I didn't know about that. Nice. But it shows you that DevM, of course, is obviously he's one of the best players ever, but he's also of the design team because he knew that he could just stand there against the Crusader AA and do the damage he did with the Jaegers. So good game feel. Oh, not good feel for this Vickers on the retreat. Oh dear.
Yeah, this is dying real fast here. It's going to be a narrow escape if he does get away. He could bring the Humber in for some smoke maybe, but... No. Now it's up for grabs, and it looks like Miguel's going to be the one taking it.
Yeah, there's no one near for Marco at this point. He's now gotten his AA back, but he's never getting that Vickers back.
Big mine going off there.
Yeah, that was a good one. Now, Gassatori are expensive to reinforce, so you want to get them back to base.
Okay, Marta coming out for Miguel to counter this now.
Yeah,
you know, the Panzerjägers were doing fine, but you don't want to take that manpower bleed every time you force your opponent's tank back like that.
Such a good point, Tightrope. Yeah, you can stand and trade, but it's quite the cost in manpower. And meanwhile, your opponent's going to keep repairing. It doesn't cost him anything. So, yeah, get something bigger and better out the Marder. All right, then. Okay, here we go. We've got the Humber Vet 2 in the north, Panzer Grenadiers. They're gonna just hold their ground and try and pretend something big is coming, and it is coming. The Marder 3 is gonna trade with these vehicles now and keep them at bay. Meanwhile, in the centre, we've got Assault Grenadiers sweeping in for the 6-pounder. We've got another AA Crusader in the south as well, Tightrope. This game is on the knife's edge here.
Yeah, it kind of comes down to the AT gun positioning of Marco right now. If he can counter these Martyrs with the AT guns, he's in a good position. He'll be doing massive damage with all of his vehicles.
Yeah, massive damage indeed. That was my rapper name back in the 2000s, just an FYI. You can still get some of my CDs in charity shops in the Midlands. Tightrope doesn't believe it. I'm sure he doesn't believe it. Okay, fair enough.
What's your signature song? What's your hit?
Oh, there were too many to mention. Right, here we go. We got Marco pushing in, and the Assault Grenadiers getting out of there. Oh, that could have been a nasty wipe, but they were able to get through a hole in the bushes I didn't know existed.
Oh, even the map maker can be surprised by some of the twists and
That
turns.
was K-Pen. There, that was K-Pen. Yeah, that one. I'm sure they vaulted. I'm sure they vaulted. We need to get onto that. Anywho, Marder's pushing in, trying to keep him at bay. He's got a very northerly direction here.
And very cheeky, using this sight blocker to his advantage. Marco doing big damage, avoiding the counter attack.
Yeah, he's trying his best. Panzer Grenadiers pushing up. And, yep. Devam's looking to tighten the noose. Marco's operating with agility, trying to keep the game alive, but seems like Devam's got a lot of momentum.
The KD is pretty close between the two players at this stage, though. You might think that with Marco, with all his vehicle play, would have bled less, but still very tight in that department.
Yeah, it's been a high-level game, to be honest. This is, kind of reminiscent of high-level tourney play for the most part. It seems that these guys have been playtesting Co3 quite a lot. Marder could be playtesting, yep, this AA Crusader, and testing it to breaking point.
Yeah, really good use of the tear gas round there from Miguel, slowing that down. Couldn't escape. So Brent's getting right on top of these team weapons now as well. Brent's doing their best to try and repel them.
Yeah, they're trying their best, they're fighting their hardest, but this Marder's running rampant. Humber somehow survives. One more shot necessitated. These 6-pounders, yep, they find their range now, so we're having a proper 4-way battle.
Oh, is he going to go for the tear gas again? Oh, man. Tried to get aggressive, was hunting for the kill there, but the tear gas round again shuts down Marco's vehicle movements.
Yeah, Marco had the right idea as well, using different directions to push in, but Devam was just wise enough to it, made great use of the abilities, and he's got his just desserts now. He's in a bit of a lead here.
Yeah, army size-wise, Miguel way ahead at this stage. But Miguel probably has to do some taking up, whereas Marco, maybe later on, could just go straight for a Churchill. So without ticking, so that can save him some big resources.
Yeah, good indeed. Call-ins central for Marco. Could be making great use of that with a power spike incoming. Let's see if he can get to the 8 CPs needed. Vet 3, Bren's getting friends to help them out. They're battling hard against the Gustatory. Meanwhile, in the north, Royal Engineers could meet their end. No, they get out of there. It's a close one, Tightrope.
Yeah, just a little bit better control from Miguel, I think. Some of these corner engagements seem to be going his way right now. But still, quite competitive on the victory points as well.
Yeah, it's really close. It's really close. It seems like they've both postured for position quite a bit. Marco seems to be defending reasonably well. Still got those 6-pounders importantly alive. The Vickers loss has really hurt him, but then again, Devam's not really using the Vickers at the moment. He's got it just placed down south, keeping Marco in the central area, just trying to churn him up.
Yeah, I was actually surprised. I was looking at Miguel's armory upgrades, and he hasn't gone for the veteran squad leaders upgrade, which would buff up all his infantry. I'm quite surprised by that.
Yeah, very surprised. He's got all this infantry starting to push in now. Got Marder support. He's got a lot of fuel, DevM has. I think he's trying to show people that you can play with DAC infantry, maybe. That's maybe what he's going for here. Do you think that's a possibility, Tightrope?
Well, if he wasn't, he's certainly proving it to be true.
But it's like anything DevM does. He's won more tournaments than any other human for Company Heroes alive. So it's like, come on, guys, it's easy. Just be like me.
Easier said than done.
Yeah, easier said than done. Probably end up looking more like AE playing Company Heroes than DevM if you try what he's doing. Marder backing up. But it's going to be fine. Just keeping the pressure on him. He's also capping in the north at the moment. What does Marco have coming out? Those Crusader AA losses. He's lost all momentum now. I think he's just kind of trying to figure out what his next options could be. He does have platoon command post down, but he's just probably thinking about his next choice right now. What do you think he's going to go for?
Yeah, it's got to be a Churchill. I think he's got the VP lead right now. He's got a bit of time to work with. So he's just trying to minimize losses until that Churchill arrives.
Oh, but the triple cap's coming in and there's infantry waiting for him on the way there. So it's going to be hard to stop it happening, quite frankly.
Oh, he's locked into the Black Prince. So he's going for the more expensive of the two Churchills. So it's still a way off in terms of resources.
Comebacks on. Here we go. He's going for the ultra late game experimental heavy tank. That's never ended badly, Tightrope, ever.
If he can get it out, that thing is really hard to kill.
Yeah. With veterancy, it gets faster as well, and that's the dangerous thing. It's already like a battleship on tracks, just rolling around the battlefield. But, yeah.
I wonder if maybe Marco would even consider withdrawing and refitting his Humber to get that little boost to get the Black Prince out earlier.
Oh, that'd be
It was pretty strong, though, Vet 3.
Yeah, he's got quite a few victory points left as well as Marco. He's actually still in the lead. Miguel DevM's only just got on the triple cap now, so that is a victory point per second now in Co3. It's been, of course, sped up a little bit from Co2.
Let's see what he can get done with this mortar.
Yeah, Mortar is a good choice. He's obviously up against the MG, and that's pretty much it from support weapons, actually. But it's never a bad choice to go Mortar in this game. It's a bad choice to lose your Humber, though.
Oh, clutch reactions there. Really good smoke usage from Marco.
Oh, he's got the grenade launcher as well. He's causing all kinds of problems for the support weapons. He's taken back the northern victory point is Marco, but the Panzer Grenadiers are going to put their toe over the line, I think. Just keep on the pressure.
He's stalling that well here, Marco. He's stalling it well. He's going to get that Black Prince. I can feel it.
Where there's hope, there's always a possibility. But, you know, we've got to keep hope. We've got to keep hope for Marco. He's been a great source of inspiration for Relic with Company Heroes 3. A lot of the good stuff from the Italian flavours of the DAC and the Wehrmacht have come from him, I believe. I think that's why he's got a map named after him now. Villa Fiore, of course.
Yeah, that's the ultimate honour. You have a map named after you.
Yeah, sadly, AE Mansion has not been made quite yet. Humber backs up. Royal Engineers jump in for him. Miguel still with just the one vehicle. He's got a he's actually, what's he gone for now fuel-wise there, Tightrope? Can you see what he's been up to?
Not really.
He's got the Panzer Army Command, I believe it's called.
Yeah, hasn't made anything from it yet, though.
Just flexing, it seems. And here we go. Finally, Tightrope has his ultimate counter to DevM's being good at Co.
Yeah, this thing can hit really hard too. Miguel's going to need to be fast on the retreats when this thing starts blasting.
And soon it will. Gustas are going to be the first target. And what's he got on the base exit there?
Oh, the old Beche barrage. Gets a decrew on the mortar, maybe?
I'll tell you what, that's on right on the edge. And that's the scatter means it's actually reaching the base there. Nasty. Yeah, he
Prince
planted it right
continuing
on the edge. Yeah. Sorry.
Continuing on, though, he's going after these Grostatori. They're trying to hide in the smoke. Where's the attack round work?
Here it comes. And he misses. Gastatori behind him now all of a sudden.
Oh, wow, he decreed the AT gun there as well. That's quite a lot of scatter on that Obiche.
Oh my god, have you seen the craters?
Those are 305mm shells. They're some big boys.
Oh, big boys, and they're very inaccurate boys as well. They're kind of all over the place. Can't believe he got the wipe on the AT gun there. That's just annoying for Marco.
He is at least, he's in control in the north right now, so he's not bleeding out too hard, but he desperately needs to get onto a second victory point.
Yeah, Marco's got that northern one for now. What have you seen?
Miguel's gone for armored reserves. He's going for a Tiger.
Oh, there you go. They're putting on a show, Tightrope.
The two heavies are going to go head-to-head here.
Well,
very close. Just needs a bit more manpower for it.
This feels more like a WWE match than going full out at this point from DevM, I feel. Yeah. It's Coastal Mania, apparently, and DevM's pretending to be all weak for a moment. Then he's gonna hulk up and go for the finish, I feel.
Oh, we can only hope. Man, this Tiger's so close now. Really looking forward to these two going head-to-head.
I mean, to my recollection, I think the Black Prince does very well in that engagement. The Tiger doesn't tend to, deflect any rounds from its frontal armor.
Yeah, well, I think the Black Prince does have... Ooh, there goes that Humber.
It lasted a while, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. It gets a little bit of a health bonus from Vet that helped it stay alive for a bit longer there. But yes, finally the Tiger is on the field for Miguel.
Tiger Black Prince, the ultimate confrontation. That definitely happened historically because there's voice lines in the game that allude to it.
It's going to come down to the supporting anti-tank, I think. The Marder v the double AT guns, which is going to be in better position for the fights.
Yeah, and of course the infantry, can it get rid of those AT guns? That's the problem with having a support weapon-based anti-tank. They're a little bit more susceptible to being pushed off the field. Meanwhile, the Marder will be able to continue to assist. Victory points back in DevM's favour there. Really grinding Marco's VP count down. He's going to be double-digit figure land very shortly.
Yeah, he's capping in the middle. He needs another point. Repairing in combat can be risky for Marco, but they're kind of positioned towards the rear, so kind of safe back there.
Oh, Jaeger's flank the Black Prince. Oh, and a big penetration.
This could be nasty. He's got the Obiche coming down as well.
Here we go.
Oh no. Disaster for the Black Prince. Obiche. Oh, that's devastating from Miguel.
Oh, could be a squad wipe on the Royal Engineers on retreat as well. Ah, he hit the Tiger! I told you he was inaccurate.
And Jaeger's chasing. There's so much smoke, but he's gonna try to get the kill here.
Yep. Base MG's kicking in. Oh, one more penetration should do it. One more. There he goes. He got it. And
well done there by Miguel. Like, that Black Prince is so slow. You got to be really careful with it. And
that's its one true weakness until it gets Vet 3, of course. But, yeah, well played by DevM all in all.
Yeah, he's just been tearing Marco up with those tear gas rounds the whole game.
Dare I say it, maybe one thing he wished he saw players using more, and he's just, like, showcasing it possibly.
Tiger's coming back in now to finish the job.
Yeah. Nearly
Making
got
sure
the
the
squad wipe
seat-
on retreat. He, kills the AT gun as well. There's no way back now, surely.
Yeah, this is a problem. If you don't tick up, it does limit your options. Can't go for like a 17-pounder or anything to counter this.
Vic is firing. Oh, AT gun wiped instantly by the Tiger. The 88mm high explosive shell doing the damage.
Cutting off the decrew weapon now. Marco just sitting in base. Do you think he's trying to stall up for another Black Prince? No, there's no chance. He'll drain out too fast.
Yeah, we're writing fan fiction at this point. If Marco could make a comeback, I really don't think it's possible. Maybe if Dev-M, rips his hamstring or something. I don't know. That's not going to happen.
His hand gets cramped, He's
Yeah.
playing with his left hand or something.
Yeah, something like that. Carpal tunnel. Ah! Well, back in the day in CO2, in the middle of CO2's era, Dev-M would have bug splats in tournaments. It's the only thing that could stop him, I remember.
CO3 much more stable, though.
Oh, yeah. It's the best thing it had at launch was its stability, and they've only added to its functionality since then. But it just runs like a dream, to be honest. Really high frame rates. And if they get bug splats like in a patch, it's usually just due to a bug or two, and then they iron it out quite quickly. So I urge people to try it out if it didn't run well for you at one point. It's probably running really well now if you give it a go.
Well, this Tiger... It's again 2 times we've had these base killing scenarios going on.
Yeah, going for it. Oh, this infantry section on the island over there, that's got to run the gauntlet all the way back to base. There's about 5 squads in total on its retreat path, and then a Tiger if it makes it back to base. I think he should just retire.
Yeah, I think Miguel's playing with his food a bit here.
I think he's been doing it all game, mate, to be honest. No offense to Marco. But it's definitely a good spectacle. Ah, there it is. There, those grenades from the Tiger. Just killing him off. Ooh! Look at this on the island. He's got the incendiary off.
Recon Arty.
Recon Arty, sorry. Yeah, my bad. Yeah.
One of the last laugh, a Pyrrhic victory.
Oh, indeed. Moral. It's the only kind of victory he's going to have in this case. But they played to the end. Dev code, I told you, Tightrope. Play to that last victory point, no matter what. GG, well played, says Marco.
Well, there we go. Do you feel like this was a fair showcase of your fresh new map that's getting added to Auto Match?
Yes, I liked it. I thought that the before the game got a little bit WWE-ified, no offense to the players, the first half of the game I thought was very dynamic and fluid, and it's what I want to see. I think good maps are all about flow, and I like to think that that map show had a lot of flow, up to around the 16, 18-minute mark kind of thing.
Yeah, very interesting use of the Humber from Marco. It was nice to watch.
Yeah, it was lovely. And thanks again for having me, Tightrope. Thanks to Relic for giving us the opportunity to do some casting on their channel. It's been a good laugh. It's really good to see these new maps and cast some devs playing each other.
Yeah, well, thank you for helping put this map together as well.
Yeah, big shout out to K-Pen, of course. I don't want him getting salty in my DMs. You didn't mention the enough. I did all the took me ages. And yeah, we know. Well done, K-Pen. You did a good job, mate. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. And if you're not subscribed to Relic, you probably should be, because they make RTS games, and not many people do that these days.